Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parsha Chayei Sara. The question of the week is, how far do we have to go for Ahavat Yisroel to love our fellow Jew like ourselves? So we're learning now from the Zohar, from the Rebbe's father, the Kabbalist, and from the Rebbe. So the Zohar says like this: Rabbi Yossi Pasach. Rabbi Yossi opened up, and he says, we find in the prophets that Jonah, when he's running away from God, he went on the boat, and then there was a big storm, and they threw him into the water. So the Zohar asked, Jonah was running away from God. That's obviously why there was a storm. So if that's the case, why wasn't there like an earthquake? Why wasn't there something with the ground? Why did it wait till he went into the water? And only from the boat was there a storm and they threw him off. And the Zohar says, because the sea is compared to the sky, and the sky is compared to the godly throne. And that's why you had the storm. So the Rebbe's father asked, what's the connection? And the Rebbe explains, the Rebbe's father explains as follows: that the sea is referring to Gvura, severity. Severity, we're associated with the sphere of Malchus. The sky is Gevura, severity, associated with the sphere of Zoh, the six midos. And the Kisei HaKavod, the godly throne, is connected to Gevura of Bina. So because you have all these levels of Gevura, that's why you had this storm on the sea, and that's why he was thrown out. What's the connection with Sarah? That's why they bring it in this Parsha. Because when it says there was a big storm, what does that mean in Hebrew? Az Yam. That the sea was very strong. If you take the two words, which are made up of four letters, Ayin, Zayin, Yud, Mem. So Ayin is 70, Zayin is 7, Yud is 10, Mem is 40. So you have 127. Which is the same 127 years of Sarah. And we know Sarah is Malchus, and also has a level of what? Severity in Malchus. That's the connection. And the Rebbe's father goes on to explain, he says, Yossi is the one that taught it to us. What's the connection with Yossi? So Yossi is spelled Yud, Vav, Samach, Yud, which 10, 6, 60, and 10, which is 86. And that's connected to the Shem Elokim, the name of God, Aleph, Lamed, Hey, Yud, Mem, which is also 86, which is referring to the part of God which is more Gvura. So the Rebbe asks a simple question. The fact is, what's the question, why did the sea, what is the Zohar asking? The Rebbe's father has to explain. Why did the sea, why was there a storm in the sea? And why? And the Rebbe's father explains because of Gvura. Like, really, when you travel, it's dangerous, especially in the sea. So what's the big question here? And Rebbe explains, the question is like this, because the Medrash says, when Yonah was on the boat and it was a storm, so everyone started to look outside and they give a look. All the boats around were driving peacefully. Only their boat was in a storm. And that's why the question is, why was there a storm only with that boat and versus the other ones? And the answer is because, obviously, like the Rebbe's father explains, because of the gevura that took place between the sea and between the sky and between the Kisei HaKavod, all those three created a powerful storm. The Rebbe says, 1 second. Okay, so how come there wasn't some kind of earthquake on the ground? And the Rebbe explains beautifully, and he says, because what happens is, as long as somebody's in the ground, which is called Alma Desgalia, the revealed world, we have the power to do tshuva. So as long as there's room to do tshuva, God doesn't have to bring a big earthquake, we can do tshuva. But once you go into the sea, which is called Alma Desgalia, the concealed world, everything is peaceful, over there already is not going to be tshuva, so Hashem has to bring the storm to waken you to tshuva. And the Rebbe finishes off with a powerful lesson, a beautiful lesson. And that will answer the question, how far do you have to go for Ahavat Yisroel? And the Rebbe says, 1 second. Yonah was a prophet. He was one of the big prophets. He received Ruach HaKodesh. He received prophecy from Besimchas Beis Sheva. He's one of the 48 prophets. Their prophecies were written down. And he knew that you're not allowed to go ahead and not share your prophecy. How did he not go ahead and share the prophecy that the city of Nineveh is going to be turned over? Why did he do that? Why did he withhold the prophecy? Because he was trying to protect the Jewish people that he loved. And because he was trying to protect the Jewish people he loved, he was willing to, transgress against Hashem and not share the prophecy. And the Rebbe says, here you see the powerful lesson, how much you have to be careful and go out of our way to love each other and to love whatever it takes. And obviously, look at Jonah. He was willing to literally not listen to Hashem just to show love. We have the power to express love for each other, and we all know that when we love each other, it says, "Barcheinu avinu kolanu ka'echad," our greatest blessings come when we're united. So let's hope and pray that we have unity, we have love for each other, and that will give us the greatest blessings. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. This week's Torah lesson is dedicated to memory of Baruch ben Leib, Shlom ben Yosef, Rachel Basara, and Tzina bat Sarah. May their souls be elevated by the Torah we're studying in their memory. For more information, please see our website, Chabad.org. Have a great and blessed week. Shavua Tov.